I wish I had time to give my own testimony, but I already told y'all part of it. Okay. All right. So you need to first of all recognize your worth. Ask God for an exit strategy. Watch this. Then you need to accept your losses and cut your connections. Jacob had to accept his losses, realize he was about to lose some stuff. It was possible he was going to lose some stuff, so he just had to learn how to accept his losses and cut his connections. Watch this. Go back to chapter 31. Look at verse 4. It says, and Jacob called Rachel and Leah to the field unto his flock. And he says, I see your father's countenance that is not towards me as before, but God of my father hath been with me. And ye know that with all my power I have served your father, and your father has deceived me and changed my wages 10 times, but God suffered him not to hurt me. Watch this. He said, and so he's talking to them. He said, okay, I realize I'm getting ready to leave. And I realize you might want to stay with your daddy. So if you want to stay with him, go ahead and stay with him. Watch this. Now watch what happens. In verse number 12. He says, and lift up now thine eyes and see the rams. Go down to verse 14. Watch this. It says, and Rachel and Leah answered and said unto him, is there yet any portion or inheritance for us in our father's house? Are we not counted of him strangers, as he had sold us and had quite devoured also our money? For all the riches which God had taken from our father, that is ours, our children's. Now then, whatsoever God had said unto thee, then do it. Watch this. Jacob went into the conversation saying, okay, if I leave, I'm leaving, so you can either stay here or you can go with me. So he had to realize he would possibly lose some things. And then, when you go down to, verse 42? Verse 21. Verse 21. Watch this. It says, so he fled with all that he had, and he rose up and passed over the river and set his face toward Mount Gilead. So watch this. He accepted his losses, the possible losses, and he cut his connections. Regardless of what the repercussions were going to be, he cut his connection. See, some people stay in relationships that are abusive because they're afraid of what's going to happen. Let me tell you something. When God is on your side, if you leave that joker, he ain't going to find you wherever you are. Okay? Some people stay in messed up relationships simply because they feel like they can't find anything better. Okay? Cut your losses. Some people stay in relationships, okay, because they feel like, well, my child need a daddy. And I'm doing this for, let me tell you something. Leave. Let God raise that baby. Okay, where are you, Zipporah? What is it? Zipporah? No, what was the woman named? Hagar. Abraham sent Hagar away with a loaf of bread and a bottle of water. That was the child support that he gave her. But God said, don't worry about the baby crying. He said, I'm going to take care of him. He's going to be mighty in the earth. God will take care of everything. Don't you ever make people feel like you need them to survive. Yes. God will take care of you. Cut your losses. Cut your connections. All right. Last thing, and then we're going to get out of here. All right. If you are going to get out of the rent-to-own zone, you need to completely close the door on your yesterday. Let me say that again. You need to completely close the door on your yesterday. Let's go to 31, chapter 31, verse 45. This is where we started. It says, and Jacob took a stone and set it up for a pillar. And Jacob said unto his brethren, gather stones. And they took stones and made an heap, and they did eat there upon the heap. And Laban called it Jegar Sahadutha. But Jacob called it Gilead. And Laban said, this heap is a witness between me and thee this day. Therefore was the name of it called Gilead. And Mizpah, for he said, the Lord watched between me and thee when we're absent one from another. Watch this. He closed the door on his path. Jacob said, look, I'm tired of this. I'm going to close the door on this. I'm going to make it to where I can't go back. See, some people, they leave and they make it convenient enough for them to go back.
Yeah.
But you have to make it to where you can't go back. Some people leave relationships where they leave and they leave a little something behind to say, okay, I can go back and get that. That way I can see them just one more time. And you go back one more time, and then your passion get involved in everything, and then you end up staying for a little while longer. And you leave, you say, I'm going to leave for real this time. But you leave something behind and say, well, we still need to communicate about this. Let me just call them just one more time. And you end up talking, and they end up smooth talking, you end up staying a little while longer, and you end up getting wrapped up in your emotions again, and you stay there. But you need to make it to where you can't go back. I'm talking about disconnecting your phone, get you a new phone. If they got access to your email, delete that email address. Make it to where you can't go back. Don't make it convenient to go back. Watch this. Not only do you close the door on this path by doing that, watch this. Let me show you something else. Let me show you a principle. Because this is where people mess up. Let's go 31 verse 19. 31 verse 19. This is when Laban came out. He says, and Laban went to shear his sheep, and Rachel had stolen the images or the idols that were her father's. Okay? She had stolen her father's idols. Let's go to verse 34 of chapter 31. It says, now Rachel had taken the images or the idols and put them in the camel's furniture and sat upon them, and Laban searched all the tent, but found them not. And she said to her father, let it not displease my lord, that I cannot rise up before thee, for the custom of women is upon me. She said, I'm on my cycle, I can't get up, Daddy. They're up on them, I can't get up. Okay. So she deceived. He taught her how to be deceptive like that. Okay. Now watch this. Let's go to chapter 35, verse 1 through 4. Watch this. And God said unto Jacob, arise and go up to Bethel and dwell there, and make there an altar unto God that appeared unto thee when thou fleddest from the face of Esau thy brother. Then Jacob said unto his household and to all that were with him, put away the strange gods that are among you, and be clean, and change your garments, and let us rise and go up to Bethel, and I will make there an altar unto God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and was with me in the way which I went. And they gave unto Jacob all the strange gods which were with him, which were in their hand, and all their earrings which were in their ears. And Jacob hid them under the oak which was by Shechem. So Jacob said, he said, look, I'm getting ready to go into my destiny. So if you have anything that is going to hinder me, that is going to cause me to be under a curse, then you need to get rid of it right now. Sometimes, when we have been emotionally, physically, sexually, socially involved with people, sometimes they still have inroads to come in and out of our life simply because we have items that remind us of the time we were with them. It's called a soul tie. Because you have a connection. And so the enemy understands that you have that connection. And so he can cause them to come in and out of your life and get you all messed up emotionally right at the point when you're getting ready to take off. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you were getting ready, things were about to happen? I mean, this is going good.